Колеги, ми продовжуємо роботу.
We continue our working day and we give the floor to Presidential Administration spokesman on ATO-related issues. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. And now, the events in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. In Lugansk area, the enemy carried out 5 shellings of Ukrainian positions, including 1 mortar shelling. The enemy violated ceasefire along the front line, starting from Stanitsa Luganska to Popasna, and the activity of the enemy is in the dark hours mainly. In Donetsk area, the situation remains mainly the same. The militants use mortars, APCs along the front line. And the hottest areas are traditional: Svetodarska Bulge, northern suburbs of Gorlovka, production area of Avdiivka, and the Donetsk airport. On the whole, in Donetsk area, there were 45 enemy shellings. Each third was with the use of heavy weapons. Chief Intelligence Department of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine informs that due to heavy losses near Avdiivka, this is about 10 dead militants in 1.5 months, the enemy withdrew many units of the 10 detached motorized regiment of the 1st Army Corps of DPR, and new forces of the enemy came from 3 brigades of the militants. There is a sharp increase of enemy shellings in Mariupol area. The hottest areas are Marianka, suburbs of Dokuchaevsk. Also, they shell Ukrainian checkpoints on the highway Donetsk-Mariupol, and also Shirokina is also included. The enemy used mortars twice and once tubed artillery, self-propelled system Gvozdika of 122 millimeter of caliber. And on the whole, there were 20 shellings of Ukrainian positions, and the enemy launched 20 mines of different caliber and more than 20 enemy mines. During the last 24 hours, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed and 1 was wounded in Pisky in the course of shellings, and 1 serviceman died in Stanitsa Luganska. He was blown up on a mine while being in a car. The border service officer of Ukraine was wounded today after midnight, and it happened in Stanitsa Luganska. Also, Chief Intelligence Department of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine provided information about yesterday's losses of the enemy. 1 militant was killed, or 3 were wounded. They are the members of the 11th Detached Motorized Regiment of the 1st Army Corps of DPR. Also near Permomaisk town, due to the explosion of ammunition, 6 militants died from so-called 4th Detached Motorized Brigade of the 2nd Army Corps of LPR. Recently, ATO forces brought down an enemy air drone. It happened near Novoselivka village, Volnovakha region, Donetsk Oblast. This equipment that was brought down, Zala 42104M, is produced in Russia, and it is designed for surveillance purposes under difficult meteorological conditions and for parachuting some small freights. So after this, the flights of this air drone, there was an increase in the shellings of Ukrainian positions. And now the SBU officers study the equipment on that air drone that was brought down. If you have some questions, please ask. Thank you. Colonel, do you have some questions or comments? If there are no questions or comments, thank you. This is the end of press conference, and the next event is at 1 p.m.